Hello, everybody. I'm Gavin J. Davidson. I am the social media and web manager for the BGHMSLS, and I'm joined here today with Mr. Nathan Phillips. How you doing today, sir?
Hey, Gavin, I'm good. Thanks for having me. Excited to chat with you and get some content for the social media.
Yeah, we enjoy having you here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so again, my name is Nathan Phillips. I'm originally from Jackson, Michigan, and so I've been in basically the Midwest my entire life. Uh, Prior to this job, in my grad school experience here at BG, I was a teacher and a hockey coach at Culver Academies, and that's in Culver, Indiana, just south of Notre Dame there. So been involved with hockey my entire life, been involved with athletics my entire life, so I figured I should pursue it in an academic standpoint here at Bowling Green.
Okay, what made you interested in hockey?
Yeah, so to be honest, I had a neighbor that was a goaltender in hockey, and we went to watch a few of his games, and I kind of fell in love with the pads that he was wearing. I remember like a red checkerboard like set of goalie pads that he was wearing for our local high school, and I thought they were the coolest thing in the world. And lo and behold, next week I was wearing a set of goalie pads playing hockey. So from there, I never looked back and kept playing goalie, and now I'm coaching. So it's a really cool experience. Years down the road.
And how did you get your position with the team now?
Yeah, so when I was coaching prep school hockey, I would run into our head coach, Ty Agner, who was at the time, he was the assistant coach here at Bowling Green. And he was out doing some recruiting in various locations that our team would be playing in. And we just got to know each other through that recruiting world. And when this position as the director of hockey ops was available this past summer, he expressed interest in having me apply for it. So I jumped online and applied. I remember that night, like I jumped on and went after it right away. And a month and a half later, I was on campus for my interview and signed the contract, and here I am. So.
And can you explain your position with the team?
Yeah, so my position, its title is Director of Hockey Operations, so it's kind of twofold. On one side, I do basically the managerial stuff for the program. So I do our travel, I do some work with our NCAA and academic stuff, and then on the other hand, I do a lot of video stuff. So during practice, during games, I have video camera set up, and I'm live tagging. So basically, I'm clipping and editing our game film, and so that after a game or between periods, our coaching staff and our players can kind of co-unite and talk through some of the film that we see as necessary. And then I do a lot of pre-scouting work for the program. So I watch, 3 to 4 games prior to a weekend of our upcoming opponent and break down all their strategies, their systems, their players, their tendencies, and make sure our team is prepared for those. And on the flip side, we really like to focus on, how can our strengths defeat their weaknesses, and how can we combat their strengths with our strengths, right? Because you want to focus on your group that you have. So that's basically my role at the program.
Okay. And what is, as far as schoolwork, what's your favorite class so far?
Yeah, so I'm taking 2 courses right now. Just with the full-time role here on campus, I decided to take 2. And right now, my applied sports psych is probably my favorite. It's something that I've always had a little bit of an interest in terms of, how does an athlete achieve their best performance on a daily basis? And I don't know if it comes from being a teacher as well and a coach now. Like you always want the most out of yourself, and you want the most out of your players and students. So I think just kind of growing up in that academic setting and athletic setting is piques my interest in that. So shout out to Dr. Vicki Crane. Your class is great so far. Thank you.
Yes, she's a great professor.
Yeah.
So what do you plan on doing after you graduate?
Yeah, so after I graduate, I really, really want to stay in the collegiate athletic world, whether that be, earning some type of a promotion, hopefully here within BGSU. I've come to fall in love with this place in the past year. And when I was at Michigan State playing, this was always one of my favorite places to come. We unfortunately dismembered the CCHA during my time there, but we came down here a few times, and man, I just remember the loudness of the rink and the intimidation factor of the low ceiling and the loud fans and the orange and brown just surrounding you when you get out on the ice. So I really enjoyed here. The community is well versed within the community, the athletic community, I should say. So I think it's a really cool combination, and hopefully I can stay at Bowling Green. If the world takes me elsewhere, then I'm happy to explore my options as far as moving up in the coaching world and always treasuring my lessons learned here at Bowling Green.
I want to shift to the hockey season itself. So as of right now, what are I saw that they had postponed the season. Is there any schedule changes that have been actually like posted, or are they still tweaking with it?
Yeah, so the college hockey coaches from a national standpoint came out and basically stepped forward and said, hey, we're going to delay of some level. Different conferences are kind of going about it different ways, just based on a geographical standpoint and financial standpoint. Just to be honest, I mean, you see the Big Ten just started football again, kind of on a whim, right? It's interesting to see what goes into those decisions. But from a hockey standpoint, we as a program, a conference, and a national standpoint decided to push back our season. From a schedule standpoint, there's been nothing released in terms of, hey, this is exactly when we're starting. This is exactly who we're going to play. Those things are still in the works, and those conversations are happening every single day within our conference and from a national standpoint. So we're hoping to play as soon as we can in a safe environment, and we're really excited because we're really excited about our hockey team that we have here. We were bummed last spring when we got our season swept out from underneath us up in Minnesota. We thought we had a great opportunity to try to win the WCHA championship, but we've got a group of driven guys here and a coaching staff that really sees the potential in our group. So we're hoping to play sooner than later.
What has the school plans so far, or are they just going to follow what the conference is going to do?
Yeah, it's kind of everyone's working collaboratively on it. I mean, the thing about our conference is you've got an Ohio team, an Alabama team, a handful of Michigan teams, a handful of Minnesota, and then you've got the 2 Alaska schools. So you've got schools in very, very, very different situations all over the country within our own conference. So, we're having conversations not just about ourselves, but how are we going to make this thing work from a conference standpoint? Because no one wants to see a program not play this year. Right. We don't want to see any other team not play. We want to play ourselves, right? So from a school standpoint, we're trying to make the most of our situation here in Ohio, just as much as we want all the other schools, because we know that their success in terms of playing this year is very dependent on our success of playing this year. So we're definitely going about this from a full conference. It goes all the way from the coaching staffs to the ADs to the presidents of the universities. So luckily we have an unbelievable AD and an awesome president here that are great people, and they are kind of really taking a stronghold on helping these decisions move along. So we're excited. I mean, we want the most of the season.
And I know the biggest thing that could derail the season is an outbreak. Mm-hmm. What has the school done to control? Well, has schools done to make sure that the team does not have an outbreak occurrence?
Yeah, so we're trying to take every step that we can. I mean, we have, as soon as the guys got back late summer, we told the guys, for the most part, stay home as long as you can, and be with your families and kind of be with the people that you've been with, during this entire pandemic. And, we think that was a safe route for them. And then when they got back to campus, having them get tested right away, and then also, kind of their routine is small group stuff. So they get to work out in the morning, and then they get their temperature checked, and there's some other stuff that they have to do prior to arriving in terms of self-wellness. standpoint. And then when they get to the rink, they're in small groups as they enter the locker room space. So we don't have our entire team in one space at any given time, really, except for when they're in the weight room and when they're on the ice. And then from that standpoint, like, we've tried our best to be social distanced on the ice. I mean, hockey's a pretty fluid sport, so you're constantly moving. But we've tried our best to design practices where guys are spread out and there's not a lot of, bumping into each other and hitting right now. It's all about how can we get the most out of every single player's development. So we've been focusing a lot on skating, a lot on shooting, individual skill work where players can still know that they're getting way better, but just not, physically combative every day.
Okay. And what rules have been implicated, like at the college level or NCAA level, to combat COVID while we get the season, before we get the season break?
Yeah, so it's, in terms of the rules, I mean, the big one is the testing part. In terms of when our season finally gets going, there will be, and I don't know exactly what it looks like yet, just because there's still some things in play, but there's going to have to be some type of testing done prior to weekends of some level, right? And then just, our guys are pretty united in this. So, whatever, the school wants us to do, and they're trying to take it to the next level. So they're trying to, as soon as they leave the rink, they can go home and try to get as much homework done as they can, spend time with the guys that live in their houses, and not, just kind of venture out. They want to play. So, as far as the rules go from a conference and a school standpoint, when we start to get playing, those things are still in the works, just because, these things are changing every single day, and it's hard to get a read on this virus, what it's going to look like 2-3 months down the road.
All right. Well, do you believe that we'll finish the season this year?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think we're going to find a way to play. I think there's definitely safe ways to do it. I think it's going to look way different. As much as I want people in the stands and a full crowd at the Slater Family Ice Arena, I just don't know if that's a real possibility this year, and that's a shame. But unfortunately, we're in some extreme times, and you're seeing some sports get things done across the nation and around the world, right? You've got now the MLBs, they're fully into it. You've got some college football teams playing, so I think there's a way to do it, and we've got some time, and hopefully, we kind of have to be really, really faithful in the medical staff that's around, the university and a lot of other places that make these decisions and are pushing forward and learning new ways to be safe. Because at the end of the day, it's about the health and the well-being of our student athletes. And I think we can do this in a safe way.
I remember that you said that you thought that this team had a chance to win the conference last year. Do you have any predictions for this year?
Yeah, no, this is coming from our guys. I mean, we have an older group, and just talking to our guys all summer and seeing how they're doing and seeing what they're thinking. I mean, we've got an older group, we got a big senior class, we got a junior class that's fairly large, right? So we've got a lot of experience. We've got, a transfer that's going to be eligible to play this year, who's a senior. So we're very deep in all three spots. So I'm excited, and I know they know that within that locker room, they have a team that can make some noise around the country and push to be where we were last year when this whole thing was removed from us. So from a prediction standpoint, I'll just say that our guys know that they can be successful this year. And that success means bringing something home, like a trophy, right? So.
Oh, yeah. Bring home a trophy is going to be party at your house. Virtual party, but party at your house.
Hey, not right now with a pandemic, though. No parties. We're going to enjoy it.
Okay. Is there anything you want to say to the people that support Nathan Phillips?
No, I guess to be where I'm at right now, in my 20s and working in college hockey and working on a master's degree, I mean, I've got to got to be very, very thankful to my parents and my family that you know, did all the early morning, you know, car rides to wherever it was to go practice or play a game and work a second job. And it's all about who helped you get here. You know, at some point, someone had to help you. So thank you to everyone who's done that. The list is way too long. We could be here all day, and there definitely wouldn't be enough time for an Instagram post with all those thanks. So just a major thanks to everyone that's helped me. And, you know, I know that I'm in the right place, and Bowling Green is about as real and it's about as an awesome community as you can live in. So it's cool to know that I'm in a good place, and I Ziggy.
Hi, Ziggy. One more thing. How can people follow you?
So I've got a Twitter and an Instagram. You're testing me now. It's nphillips _32. I think 32 is my number during college hockey. So that might throw people for a loop. But yeah, I believe it's at nphillips _32. I haven't looked at it like in terms of what my username is. I don't know, but I can get that.
All right. I appreciate your time. And hi, Ziggy.
Hi, Ziggy. Thank you.